Hang on, where's my game? Where's my game? Technical difficulties. Alright, here we go. How's it going, everybody? Alright, sorry to cut the... Okay, let's try this one more time. Multiple monitors is messing with me. So, how's everyone doing? Today we are picking up, trying to pick back up the, on the Heaven's Field routes. Thursday I wound up cutting it off early because it was stormy outside and my internet was being massive. So I couldn't stream. Yesterday, my PC getting that fixed. So, now we're going to pick back up where we left off after Ryder seemingly got one shot.
ここまでだ、ライダーのマスター。我が主の言葉に従い、聞きたくはないが降伏の意志を尋ねる。令状を破棄し、敗北を認めるか。
うるさい！化け物が偉そうに命令するな！立てライダー、お前の主人は僕だろ。犬のくせに主人の言いつけが聞けないってのか？動けライダー！どうせ死ぬんならこいつを道連れにして消えやがれ！
そこまでだ。どうやらお前では宝の持ち腐れだったようじゃな、シンジ。
A wizened voice interrupts the tension. Something roars into flame.
本が燃える！
The book Shinji was holding is on fire.
なんで？くそ！消えろってば！なんで燃えてんだよこいつ！
He tries to smother it, but it's too late. The book burns to ash in the same instant. Ryder disappears without a trace.
やれやれ、見込みはないと思っていたが、よもやこれほどとはな。孫可愛さで目をかけてやったが、これでは見切らざるを得ぬわ。
Where was he lurking all this time? The old man, Zokenmato, seemed to have suddenly crept out of the darkness.
おじいさま？今のはまさか。
わし以外に誰がおるのだ、バカ者。せっかくのサーバントを殺しかけおって、それでも我が血脈の後継者か。
I mean, I wouldn't blame you if you wanted Okay, can you get... Is that better? Yeah, I think that's better.
なんで邪魔したんだよ。勝てばいいんだろ、勝てば。僕はマトウの後継ぎなんだ。こんな奴らに負けるなんて許されないって分かってたのに。
Shinji scrambles over the old man as if clinging to his feet. Now that he's lost Rider and has been cornered by us, he has no choice but to rely on the old man. And yet...
知れ者め、お前のような出来損ないに勝利など求めておらぬが、その身に求めたものはな、無力でありながらも挑む我らの誇りじゃ。にもかかわらずこの体たらく。
There we go.
マキリの名に泥を塗り寄って、全く親子ともども一門の面汚しような。
僕が親父と同じだと？
たわけ、それ以下じゃ。無能であったお主の父は、さらに救いのない不良品を生みよった。
If it makes you feel any better, he didn't treat your uncle any better, and he had potential as a master.
それでも構わぬと一縷の望みを抱いておったが、それもここまで。血筋ばかりか、精神まで腐らせおって。
Oh, I'm sure someone could. I'm sure he could donate that at least.
マトウの血はお前で終わりだ。
The old man ignores Shinji and walks forward. Saber shifts slightly backward, as if repulsed by him.
なるほど。これではライダーが敗れるのも道理。さぞ名のある英霊とお見受けした。これほどのサーバント、過去の戦いにおいても一人現れたかどうか。さて、となるとわしは死ななくてはなるまい。あのようなものでも血縁でな。この身に変えても命だけは救わねばならぬ。はは。まっこと肉親の情とは命取り。
I'm surprised. Apparently he's trying to give Shinji a chance to escape. Is that why Zoken is going to face Saber and protect the cowering Shinji?
そら早々に立ち去れい。契約の書も燃え、マスターでなくなったのだ。ここを生き延びれば、こやつらもお主を襲うまい。父親同様、無意味な余生を送るがよい。
Shinji slinks away from Saber's gaze, all while glaring at the old man. Saber doesn't give chase. She's probably decided, for my sake, that Shinji isn't worth pursuing now that he's no longer a master. He crawls away from the battleground. Once he reaches the park exit, he takes one last look back and runs off into the night. I feel my stomach turn sour. There's a smell of rotten meat coming from somewhere.
はっ、みすみす見逃したか。なるほどなるほど。あのような小物、手にかけたところで剣が汚れるだけの話であったな。
Saber keeps still, squarely facing the old man. It feels like she's trying to block him from looking directly at me. Saber, back off. I know this old man. I want to talk to him.
いけません。この男は人間ではない。話すことなどなく、聞くこともないはずです。
I know that, but I have questions I need to ask him. Please, I'll be quick. I'll let you decide whether to fight him afterward. Saber backs up just slightly. She's giving me a chance to speak to him, but she isn't going to let me pass. Thanks. So, how do you explain this?
さて、 ただ説明しろとはぶしつけな男よ。質問は構わんが、何を問うておるのかわからんのでは答えようがないぞ。
I'm talking about Shinji. Why did he become a master? It sounds like you're the one who put him up to it.
は、何を尋ねるかと思えばそのようなこと。答えるまでもない。今お主が口にした通り、シンジをマスターに選んだのはわしだ。見て戦えぬわしは孫にヒノキ部隊を譲ったというわけだ。
You gave up your rights as a master? So that means...
お主と同じだ。エミヤの跡継ぎよ。聖杯が現れると知り、わしではなく孫にサーバントと契約させたのだ。お主とて窓を極める血の末石。己では叶わぬ夢を弟子に託す心情は理解できよう。
So, what? As a rule, only mages become masters. Is the old man saying that Shinji studied magecraft as a family tradition? Is the Mato family... Are you a magical lineage?
知らなんだか。この土地には当坂とマト両家が根を張っておる。とはいえ、とうに我が血族は廃れておる。この土地の権利は名実ともに当坂のもの。マトはかつての権利にすがって細々と生きているに過ぎんがの。
Tosaka? The Tosaka knows you? That the Matos are a family of mages?
当然であろう。我らと当坂はかつての同胞じゃ。儀式が争いに変貌してからはたもとを分かったが、共に対岸を抱いた同士、聖杯戦争に絡まぬところでは交友は続いておった。おお、確かキャツから小娘に代替わりしたのであったな。ここ10年ばかり留守にしておったゆえ、キャツの弟子がどれほどの器かは見知らぬが。
He lets out a hearty chuckle. Zoken Mato laughs in amusement at whatever the Tosaka family must be feeling. You said that you're old friends with the Tosakas. Then does that mean the Matos have been around since the First Holy Grail War?
もともとはマキリという。マトと名を偽りこの国に根を下ろしたのだが、どうもそれが間違いだったようじゃ。この国の土は我らには合わん。この200年で血は薄れ、今ではあのような出来損ないが後継者という始末じゃよ。
So if the family uprooted to somewhere where, uprooted somewhere else, that would be better suited to their blood. Does that mean that they could get their, power back? Mato. It was just a conversion of their old name, Makiri. Then if Shinji belongs to a mage family, Sakura...
いや何、ただの言葉遊びじゃよ。正体を隠すためだが、名というものは軽視できんのでな。偽りの名といえど、神明に通じていなくてはならん。
I don't care about that. There's only one thing I need to know. Then Sakura. Is Sakura a master like Shinji?
これはいいなこと。さくらがマスターだと。そのようなことはありえまいに。どうやらお主の父親はまともな教育をしなかったようじゃな。
Inconceivable? Sakura doesn't have the talent to be a mage?
それ以前の問題じゃ。その魔術師の家系は一子相伝が基本。よほどの大家でなければ後継者以外に魔術を伝えることなどはありえぬよ。兄弟など最たるものだ。跡継ぎは2人もいらん。魔頭の名が廃れていなければ養子にでも出したのだが、魔術回路がないのではもらい手などおるまい。
Then Sakura is...
シンジがマスターである以上答えは明白であろう。 後継者に選ばれなかった片割れは己の家が魔道であることも知らぬが、まあ兄が使い物にならなければ妹をとも思っておったが、すでに勝敗は決した。今さら何も知らぬ孫を聖杯戦争に駆り出すこともなかろうよ。
I feel a sense of relief in my chest. Thank goodness. I was surprised to hear that the Matos were a mage family, but the problem is Shinji being a master. Still, I can rest easy knowing that Sakura won't be involved in any death matches. You said you're done with this battle, so Shinji won't fight anymore. You're retired, and Sakura has nothing to do with the Holy Grail War.
だがシンジがどう出るかはわしにも保証はできんぞ。あれは魔術師というものに執念を抱いておる。身内の恥じゃが、魔道の血はこの国に根付いてから薄れていった。その最後の後継者があれじゃ。もはや魔道の子供には魔術回路などない。まったく、だというのにどこで秘伝を紐解いたのか。あれは選ばれた人間などというおごりを持ちながら、同時に生まれつき劣っているという凶悪観念を持って育ちよった。放任がたたったのだろうが、少年というものはなかなかに強制できん。このような明確な敗北を受けても諦められんのでは、手の施しようがない。
The old man's body shrinks. No, it just seemed that way because he backed up without making a sound.
ともあれ、シンジは敗れた。こたびの戦いは早々に我らの敗退となったが、それでもこの老体を切るかね、セイバーのサーバントよ。
その言葉が真実ならば無益な戦いはしない。だがもし偽りなら次はない。それは貴殿の跡取りも同じこと。懲りずに我が主を狙うのならば、その時こそ容赦なく切り捨てよ
う。しかと。
The old man disappears. I wonder what kind of trick he used to do that. Zoken Mato melts back into the darkness, not unlike the way he first appeared before us. All he leaves behind is the smell of rotting flesh. I pick up the fallen woman, fighting down the sense of disgust within my chest. Let's go to the church, Saber. We can still make it. He'll know what to do.
承知しています。女性は私が。
Oh, right. Thanks, Saber. Saber takes the woman and starts running. This situation calls for haste. Saber can take care of this. She's stronger than me, even if she's smaller. I shouldn't let my pride get in the way.
先行します。離れずについてきてください。
Saber races through the night. I run as fast as I can, trying not to get left behind. It's the middle of the night, but the church is brightly lit. And thankfully, no organ is playing. Saber hands the unconscious victim over to me in front of the church, and I take her inside. I call loudly for Kotamine, who comes out, takes one look at the victim, and carries her into a back room. Apparently, the only room that's usable as a treatment room is Kotamine's. Apparently, the only room that's usable as a treatment room is Kotamine's own chambers. I sit on one of the pews. For now, I've done everything I can. It's up to Kotamine whether she'll pull through. I just have to trust him and wait for the outcome. Time passes. I know Saber's waiting for me outside, but I can't just leave yet. Besides, I want some time alone to think alone. The Mato family turned out to be a bloodline of mages. Shinji became a master with a servant under his command. Zoken Mato let the family heir fight in the Holy Grail War even though they've lost their power. The Ainsburns aren't the only faction with a fixation on the Holy Grail. Akiri and Tosaka. In fact, people close to the Grail itself are bound to become masters. Even Saber is no exception. The Einsburns sought the Grail for 1,000 years. I can't even begin to imagine that level of obsession. There are things that require the Holy Grail's power to be saved or healed. My old man defied the Grail and chose to destroy it instead. Can I see this through to the end with the same conviction? Do I really have the right to fight in the same war as the Einsburns and Machinis, who have been chasing their goal for hundreds of years?
まさかな。負傷者を連れてこいとは言ったが、その日のうちに連れてくるとは思わなかったぞ。
Kotomine. I look up. Kotomine's expression isn't grim. That must mean the treatment went well. Kotomine, what happened to the woman? And why did you suddenly bring the organs back in?
持ち直しはした。あとは本人次第だ。ここに連れてくるのが半時ほど遅ければ、今頃は本職に戻らねばならなかったが。
I see. Sorry, and thanks. I'm glad you were awake.
どうした？私に礼を言うとは熱でもあるのか？悩み事なら相談に乗るぞ。
I don't know. I've got plenty on my plate right now, and you're the one who keeps adding to it. I'm sick of hearing your long sermons.
なんだ、昼の話は迷惑だったか？後押ししてやったつもりなのだが、迷いを増やしただけとは、私も反省せねばならんな。
The priest seems rueful, but I can't tell how sincere he is. But I'm not going to let this awkward silence win. So, someone I know is a master, I murmur pitifully, unable to keep it to myself. The priest says nothing. He merely nods at acknowledgement.
当然倒したのだろうな、エミやシロ。
I answer the short question with a nod of my own.
ならば悔いるな。人間には過去を変えることはできん。我々にできることは、常に自身の行いを是とすることだけだ。それでも罪を背負いたいのならば、これからの自身の行いに問うがいい。すでに起きた惨事をどう捉えるかは、お前次第だ。
The priest is right, again. The problem isn't that Shinji was a master, or that the Mato and Tosaka family are mages, or that the Einsburns are obsessed with the Holy Grail. What matters are the choices I make next. I'm going home. Take care of her. I stand up and make to leave the chapel. Saber's waiting for me outside. Now that I know the woman will be all right, I have no reason to stay here. So did Shirou not pick up on? Did Shirou not pick up on the fact that the woman is Ayako? Or was Ayako being the victim in the alley like a movie thing? Because I know she got drained in the last two versions, in the last two routes.
待てエミやシロ。一つ助言をしてやろう。
What now? I already said no more lectures.
なに、すぐに済む。こんな夜更けに治療をしてやったのだ。治療代として話に付き合え。
Can't argue with that. I reluctantly turn back and stand in front of the priest.
昼に言い忘れたことだ。アインツベルンの望み、1000年の願いを叶えるために彼らは生き続けてきた。なるほど。口にしてみれば大事だ。気をされるのも当然だろう。
This is why I can't deal with this guy. I haven't even said anything yet, but he hits me right where I'm most uncertain. You're so annoying. Are you still going on about that?
そうではない。私はな、そう意識するほどのことでもないと言っているのだ。そう。特別視する必要などない。この戦いはよくある出来事に過ぎないのだよ。日々の営み、人々の幸福が結晶化したものが聖杯戦争だ。 参加すること、殺し合うことに罪悪などない。あらゆる人間は自分だけの望みを持ち、それを果たすために奪い合う。人間の一生とはそれだけのものだ。大小望みを叶えようとしない人間はいない。無論成否は別だ。人間は己が望みを叶えるために生き、その全てが目的に届かず終わるのだから。
That's nihilistic.
物事には順序がある。願いを叶えるためには相応の努力と蓄積が必要だ。そうして聖杯とは単にその徒労をなくすだけのもの。人間の生き方をよりシンプルにしたものが聖杯戦争という殺し合いだ。つまり何も特別なことなどない。7人のマスターは己が人生をもって果たすべき長い過程を聖杯という近道で短縮しようとしているだけのこと。それ以外は何も変わらん。他者の願いを自己の願いで塗りつぶしていくのが人の営みだ。聖杯戦争もお前の人生も変わらない。お前はお前の望むまま気負うことなく勝ち抜くがいい。
The priest's tone is pleasant. To him, there's no difference between noble and mundane wishes. He doesn't judge the quality of anyone's desire. He's saying I should follow my heart and trample on everyone else's wishes. I can't tell if he's being sarcastic or not. But what I hear loud and clear is a serious declaration that even a half-baked master like me can find meaning in this war. Hell must have frozen over if you're worrying about me.
何？しなくても良い話をしたからな。悩みを時に来た者にさらなる迷いを与えては神父失格だ。
What a piece of work. If Tosaka heard that, she'd say he's always been... If Tosaka heard that, she'd say he's always been a failure. I never asked for that. See you around, fake priest.
なあ、これに懲りなければまた来るがいい。
I snort, turn on my heel, and march out the church. This time, I really do leave, announcing it with loud and forceful footsteps. Saber's waiting for me outside the church. Come to think of it, my daytime visit went exactly like this too. Saber patiently waited for me in the frigid winter night. That might be how a master-servant dynamic is meant to be anyway, but she's still here for my sake. I hope I can repay her goodwill. She's going to be all right. It's all thanks to you, Saber.
礼には及びません。あの女性を助けようとしたのはシローです。私はあなたの方針に従っただけですから。
She gives me a surprisingly kind expression. That's not true. You saved her. I never would have made it in time. Plus, she let Zokumato get away just to help a victim. If we'd stopped the old man from leaving, there would have been another fight. The woman was in critical condition and wouldn't have made it. Saber must have had that in mind when she let Zoken go.
何ですか、シロー。その理由もなく頬が緩んでいるように見えますが。
Huh? Oh, there is a good reason. I'm glad you lived up to first impressions. Thank you, Saber. I'm happy you were along with my stupid I'm happy you went along with my stupid orders.
何を言うのです。私は別にシローの指示が無茶だとは思ってなど。
Oh, really now? I seem to recall you calling me naive and soft, saying that I don't know what war is like. Saber, your face said that you do your best to cooperate but would change the plan if the situation called for it.
そんな顔はしていません。マスターの身に危険が迫った時は私の判断を優先すると言っただけではないですか。それを そうかなどとよく得たものですね、シロは。
Saber grunts in indignance. Her pouty face looks so similar yet different from the way she's been acting that I can't help but smile.
シロ、どうやらあなたには一度礼節とはどういうものか教え込まなければならないようですね。
Then you better teach me once you get the chance. But more importantly, we should end this war.
シロ、
Unlike you, I don't need the Holy Grail. I was thinking that we'd end the war and give the Grail to you if we survive. I wasn't confident that my half-hearted conviction made me good enough to be your partner, Saber.
そうですか。では今はどうなのです。あなたは今夜自分の意志での戦いを経験した。あなたの考えは変わりましたか？
Not at all. I still don't accept this Holy Grail war. But I'll fight until the end. I don't have a wish for the Holy Grail, unlike the others. But my objective has always been to protect other people, to do what's right. That doesn't mean I think any less of the others. They all have their own reasons for fighting. Some have been after the Grail for 500 years or even 1,000.
なるほど。確かにそれは筋が通っている。
If the Holy Grail War comes about in 60 60-year intervals, with the fifth one with the time between the fourth and fifth only being 10 years, wouldn't that mean that it's only been going on for 250?
では私も今一度誓いましょう。あなたが私の主としてふさわしい限り、この身はあなたの剣となる。シロウがシロウである限り、その期待を決して裏切ることはありません。
Yeah, I'll do my best, Saber. Her honest smile makes me feel a little awkward, so I look up at the sky. The starry winter sky reminds me of a frozen lake. It's so beautiful.
決して裏切ることはない。
I gaze up at the night sky, so far removed from the surface and from tonight's events. Under that same sky, she made a promise to me as if it were the most natural thing in the world. I need to do everything I can to live up to that trust. To stay true to the person that she thinks I am. At the very least, I hope I can look back on this path one day without any regrets. Save the game, yes. February 3rd. February 4th. Heaven's Feel. 5. Omen. Light pours in. Through my closed eyes, it announces the coming of morning. I roll over in bed, turning away from the light. I'm still sleepy. Judging by how cold it feels outside, it must be around 5:30 a.m. I went to bed late last night. By the time Saber and I returned from the church and I sent her off to sleep in the guest bedroom, it was already after 3 a.m. I don't think 2 hours of sleep is enough. Not to mention, I ran myself ragged yesterday. If I can at least get another 30 minutes of sleep, then... Huh? In my sleepy haze, I think I just saw something. It's right next to my futon. Next to me, in other words. Something's kneeling there, incredibly out of place. Somehow it reminds me of a person. It's staring so intensely it makes me nervous. Which means it's... Saber?!
はい。何でしょうか、シロ。
What are you doing in my room? I even gave you a guest room to sleep in last night. I jolt up and start to get out of the futon, but I stop before my lower half leaves the covers. Guys, have to deal with stuff in the morning.
それなのですが、やはり問題があります。部屋には案内されましたが、あそこはシロの部屋から離れすぎています。あなたを身を守るには常にそばに控えているのが適切です。
Now hold on! Just get away from me! I need you to back up, alright? Please darn it, Saber! If you won't, then I will! I start rolling away from her, still wrapped up in my sheets like a spring roll. Saber watches me curiously. Darn it, doesn't she know I'm a healthy young teenager? I get nervous enough when she's close to me, but having her kneel next to me first thing in the morning is certain doom for my brain cells. It's an ambush guaranteed to wipe out the brave soldiers of my frontal lobe!
シロ、話の続きですが。
Do you want to stay in my room?
はい。万全を期すため、私たちは同室で休むべきです。この屋敷の結界は優秀ですが、あくまで警告を発するだけのもの。攻め込まれた場合、あなたを守る盾にはなりません。
Saber's correct, of course, but I wish she'd consider my mental fortitude. If she sleeps in the same room as me, then I might lose my sanity before I lose my life to an enemy. Besides, I can't stay with Saber 24/7, so maybe I should draw some boundaries. Oh, I forgot. I have to go to school today!
シロ、どうしました？突然顔を青くして。あなたがそのような顔をするときは、決まって良くない提案をすると把握していますが。
She's sharp. Saber eyes me suspiciously. Saber eyes me suspiciously. Loyalty oath nowhere to be seen. Well, there is something I forgot to tell you. I take a seat opposite her. Now, how can I convince Saber to let me go to school by myself? Her gaze is painfully unrelenting. While my knife rhythmically chops tofu, Saber is sitting in a dignified seiza posture, staring intently at my face. I'm going to go to school like I usually do. We haven't seen eye to eye since I suggested doing so. Saber is against it, of course. She says it's too dangerous to let her master go out alone. But I have my own life to worry about. Fujine will get suspicious if I miss class, and I'll never know what's happening outside if I stay cooped up at home. Besides, we might tip off the other masters if Saber goes outside. I think it's worth going out on my own to scout out the terrain. Masters aren't supposed to fight in public view, right? So it should be safe during the day. As long as I stay in places with a lot of people, they won't attack me. Saber disagreed, saying that it wasn't a guarantee of safety. To be honest, I lost my temper at how overprotective she was being, and stubbornly insisting on going to school, so that's where we are now. Saber's gaze is painful because she's angry with me. Lesson of the day. She knows how to hold a grudge, and she's pretty emotional about it too, so she could be a handful. I'd better be careful not to get into any shouting matches with her in the future. So hard-headed.
何か言いましたか、シロ？
Oh, I was just talking to myself. I said this tofu's really hard. And her hearing's too darn sharp. Definitely not the sort of person you'd want to have a cold war with. Oh, it's that time already. The doorbell rings and I hear the front door open. Sakura announces herself a second later. Oh, I've lost 30 minutes arguing with Saber. Still, I'm mostly finished making breakfast. I thought about making sandwiches to make Saber happy, but she didn't look like she was in the mood, so I won't. Japanese people eat rice. I resist the violence of her gaze by making her follow the old adage, when in Rome.
おはようございます先輩。今朝はもうやっつけちゃったんですか？
Yeah, I just finished cleaning up. Morning, Sakura. Fujine should be here soon, so help me set the table.
はい、それじゃあお手伝いしちゃいますね。
Sakura sets her bag down in the living room and greets Saber.
おはようございますセーバーさん。昨日はよく眠れましたか？
はい、慣れない部屋でしたが、この屋敷には慣れていましたので問題はありません。
Oh, they're talking. They didn't yesterday, but Sakura seems to have accepted her.
お待たせしました。先輩、どこから仕上げるんですか？
One big plate and 4 small plates for the 4 of us. The salad's ready, so go ahead and dress it however you want.
はい。はあ、今朝のサラダはジャーマンポテトですか。朝から洋食風なんて凝ってますね先輩。
As she expressed her surprise, Sakura scoops the large serving of potato salad onto the big plate and garnishes it. Let me try that again. As she expresses her surprise, Sakura scoops the large serving of potato salad onto the big plate and garnishes it. I'd like to object that the only Western thing about this meal is the salad, though. I'd like to further point out that this isn't a concession to Saber. I just felt like making potato salad.
はあ、なんかいい匂い。先輩、ちょっと味見いいですか？
Sure, but it's hot. And maybe a little sweet. Sakura uses a pair of long frying chopsticks to sample the potatoes I'm cooking.
はあ、本当に甘い。これ、玉ねぎの甘さじゃないですよね。
Are they Vidalia? How do you get sweet from onions? She licks her lips as she considers the recipe. Watching her, I'm surprised. I've seen Sakura taste test food plenty of times, but from this close, was she always so charming?
美味しいです先輩。この味付け気に入っちゃいました。
She must be fond of it because she enthusiastically scoops potatoes into her big plate. That's the usual Sakura. I'm relieved to feel my surprise draining away. Sakura.
はい、何ですか先輩。
She's the same old Sakura. She's no different than she was yesterday. Shinji... I stopped just short of asking her what happened after he went home last night. If Shinji had a grudge against me for yesterday, then I doubt he would have let Sakura come over. Shinji may be a master belonging to a family of mages, but that has nothing to do with Sakura. She won't be pulled into this war. Still, I'm worried for her. If something happens that causes Shinji to dump on Sakura all the Mata family affairs, the Holy Grail War, and the fight between masters, then she'll definitely be involved. I have to prevent that, no matter what. Never mind.
はい。それより先輩、今は兄さんに関わらないでください。兄さん、昨日の夜からおかしいんです。気が立っているようだから、先輩にもおかしなことを言ってしまうかもしれない。
I need to make sure Sakura doesn't know what happened. I know why Shinji's acting that way, of course. He went off the rails last night. He lost his status as a master and his grandfather berated him. Considering Shinji's personality, he must be seriously ticked at me. Sakura doesn't know anything. She's ignorant of her brother's situation and her family's secrets. Then, is it safe for her to keep living with Shinji? Shinji hasn't given up. I can't rule out the chance that he might do something awful to his sister.
先輩、ごめんなさい。朝から迷惑かけてしまっているみたいで。
Silly, don't say that. You weren't any trouble. I'm the one who's causing trouble for you. I should have foreseen this situation after fighting Shinji. I need to think. Come up with a way that Sakura can keep living her life. To find a way to let her keep smiling like she always has. Breakfast ends in a gloomy mood. I don't know why, but Fujine never showed up, and Sakura ate in silence the whole time. Saber's always been stoic, and I'm not exactly talkative either. We clean up quickly after breakfast, and Sakura leaves 40 minutes early for morning practice.
それじゃあ失礼しますね、先輩。
Sakura forces a smile and puts on her shoes. Yeah, don't be too hard on yourself at club. I know you've been pushing yourself because you haven't been feeling well. Just go through the motions and have tea in the back. If Mitsuzuri has a problem with it, just tell her it's a favor to me.
はい、それなら首相も喜びます。
The front door slides open with a clatter. Sakura bows, turns to leave, and runs smack into the door. Sakura?! She holds her nose, moaning. Hey, are you okay? Is your nose bleeding?
はい、大丈夫です。聖杯に鼻血なんて見られたら死んじゃいます。
Sakura stands up unsteadily. Surely that accident happened because she wasn't paying attention, right? Are you sure you're feeling all right? You look more like you fainted rather than just running into the door. If you're feeling dizzy today, then...
おかしいな。そんなことないんですよ。今のは私の不注意で、恥ずかしいです。それじゃあ改めてお先に失礼しますね、先輩。藤村先生には今朝も先輩のご飯は美味しかったってお伝えします。
Sakura leaves without further incident, trying to downplay my worries. She does look full of energy. If she's tired, maybe it's mental rather than physical fatigue. There's still Shinji to deal with. I can't let things stay like this. I say that, but I don't have any clear solutions. I can't consult Saber about this, nor can I tell Sakura the truth. Fujine's completely out, of course. Darn it! If only there was someone who goes to the same school as me that I could ask for advice, who would actually know what the Holy Grail was. As if someone that convenient would just walk up to me at school. Cue the... Huh. I kind of expected Doreen to just show up. I go up the stairs. I managed to get Saber to stay home while I went to school, though my head is a little foggy.
Emiya-kun?
It was a little later than I expected, but I still called it. Oh, there she is. Luckily, the one person I can ask about anything suddenly strolls up right to me.
そう。私のこと甘く見てるってこと。
Tosaka calls out to me. Maybe she has business with me too. What good luck! I'm saving. Because I have a feeling this is going to be the right answer. I'd better run away. I mean, I'd better hurry to class. Asking Tosaka for advice seemed like a good idea. But the school's #1 student gives off an aura of a cat ready to tear apart any mice that strays too close. A wise man keeps away from danger after all. Morning, Tosaka. Later, Tosaka. I sprint up the stairs as fast as I can.
ちょっと待ちなさい。私の話はまだ終わってない。
I run for the hallway, turning to look back at the devil's voice behind me. She looks like she's gathering steam, but nothing could be more dangerous than talking to Tosaka right now, so this was the right call. I made it. It's still 3 minutes before homeroom starts, and Fujine isn't here yet. Shinji's desk is empty. It's gonna be tough to face him after yesterday, but I was hoping to talk to him. If he's absent, though, there's nothing I can do about that. Going to the Mato house would just provoke him, so I need to think of another way that won't involve Sakura. Huh? There's another empty seat. Issei's. Wow, never thought I'd see that guy in this class. I put my bag down at my desk and get ready for homeroom.
お待たせ。どう？今日は朝から新記録でしょ。
Fujine arrives before the bell, which is unusual for her. I'm a little relieved. I thought maybe she overslept since she didn't come over for breakfast, but she's as chipper as ever.
ああ、飯だ飯だ。さあ、みんなで学食に肉食いに行こうぜ。
The moment lunch break starts, a boisterous roar goes up from the middle of the classroom. Only the boys are ever involved in a ruckus like this, while the girls avoid them and move their desks into fours.
ああ、俺も今日は学食付き合うぜ埼玉。
俺は遠慮する。昨日も肉食ったし。
私たちもパスじゃなくて、いい加減諦めてよ男子。私たちうちの学食はもうゴリゴリなんだから。
なんだよ。うちの学食の B 亭は最高だろ。コロッケ定食なのに何食べても肉の味しかしねえんだぜ。
ああ、まあそれが得なのかどうかは個人の趣味嗜好だけどね。野菜食っても肉の味ってのは正直どうなのよ。
エミヤはどうする？お前が弁当かどうかで学食組が激変するんだけどな。つうか俺のために弁当を作ってくれそうなもし。
あ、ずるい。それならエミヤくんこっちに来ない？私たちのサンドイッチとお弁当交換しよう。
交換しよっじゃねえよ、コンビニエンス組が。女のくせに手抜きやがって。お前たちに俺たちの弁当は渡さん。上等な飯が欲しかったら卵焼きを作れるようになってから言え。
失礼。卵焼きぐらい作れますよだ。あんなのお湯で温めるだけだもん。ねえ、そうだよね、エミヤくん。
That's not how you make it. Everything you guys said was just wrong. Anyway, I didn't bring a lunch today. I haven't had time lately, and I'll probably be eating school lunch until the end of the term. Both team cafeteria and team takeout jaws dropped. There's always times like this when the bitter rivals of our class suddenly become bosom buddies. I have the combo meal that some of my classmates went on about. The fried shrimp tastes like red meat for some reason, and I grumble about it as I go back to my classroom. It's almost 5th period. I sit down and start getting ready for the next class when... What's this? I find a slip of paper in my desk. I don't know what to say. The note was written using a ruler grid for character spacing, perhaps to obscure the writer's handwriting. Tosaka. It is her, right? After this morning, I can't imagine it would be anyone else. Frankly, I'd like to pretend I never saw this threatening note, but the last sentence is particularly concerning. Did she plan this so that I can still read the part where she scribbled out? No, wait, right? I don't feel like responding, but I could use Tosaka's advice. I still haven't figured out what to do with Sakura, so I'll keep my expectations low and go talk with Tosaka. school day ends after 6th period. It's time. I don't know what Tosaka's scheming, but there are still students on campus. The Kyoto Club should be practicing until 5 p.m. So I could run somewhere there's still a lot of people around if it comes to that. Tosaka's a respectable mage, so she shouldn't attack me while there are witnesses around. Biyama is, as its name suggests, a neighborhood built in a mountain pass. It's a hilly area, and there are paths that cross the smaller hills. Our school is located on one of those hills. The campus was erected on a mountainside, and the area behind it is, of course, undeveloped, meaning that if you go behind the school, you'll immediately enter a wooded thicket. Then, in the deepening woods, where not even the adventurous athletic club dares to tread. Beyond the shadowy monoliths, I find a monstrous archdemon lying in wait. To be honest, I already want to go home, but she'll definitely come after me if I leave now. Without a doubt, a merciless rain of fire will descend upon my helpless back. Tosaka? I'm here. What do you want? I call out from the edge of the tree line. By no means should I step into the area where she is. I'm sure that the closer I get, the lower my chances of survival will be. Hey, Tosaka, can you hear me? I raise my voice. Hear me. She's ticked at me for getting even this close. Her voice echoed twice as loud. Dang, Tosaka! I think they could hear that all the way at the archery range.
しまった。また調子狂わされた。
Tosaka clicks her tongue and walks backwards.
まあいいわ。こんなのは予測範囲よ。あなたのことだから呆れるぐらい素人な方法でやってくると思ったし。
And I gotta wonder what crawled up her butt and died to put in her. I gotta wonder what crawled up her butt and died to put her in even a worse mood than before. What are you so upset about? Did I embarrass you that much by yelling?
そんな小さなことに怒ったりしないわ。私をイライラさせているのはあなたのそういう無害さを装った有害さよ。
She glares at me. You know, others would be thrilled to be alone with Tosaka like this, but the circumstances keep pulling me back to reality. What are you getting at? Am I some sort of wolf in sheep's clothing to you?
それはただの擬態。あんたの場合は本当に羊なのに実は狼を返り討ちにする突然変異ってこと。
Huh? I understand even less than I did a moment ago. Also, that mutant freak doesn't sound like a sheep at all.
まあいいわ。余分なことを話してるほど暇じゃないし、本題に入りましょう。ええ、逃げずによく来たわね、エミヤ君。
You know, we had mutant ninja turtles, mutant sharks who carved up streets, and mutant dinosaurs. What? How come we didn't get a mutant sheep? A mutant sheep team. Yeah, I couldn't just ignore that awful threat you sent me. I bet it's got some curse on it.
Huh?
She pauses for a moment. Bewilderment is evident in her expression.
ちょっと、脅迫状って何よ。
This. I show her the piece of paper I found in my desk.
もう脅かさないでよ。私以外の誰かがエミヤ君をおびき出したのかと思ったでしょ。ほんとあなたも慌て者ね。そりゃ確かにイライラしてたけど、ただの伝言に呪いなんかかけないわよ。それは普通のなんで途端にこれ以上ないってぐらい顔しかめてるのよ。
I mean, who wouldn't? Tosaka actually thinks that was just a message. I mean, I wouldn't have had a problem with it. I mean, I wouldn't have a problem if that was just her personal aesthetic. But the image of green Tosaka in my mind is in complete tatters now.
もしかして私無意識にガンドかけてたとか？
No, there was nothing wrong with the physical letter, but anyone would read it as a threat. If someone other than me had seen it, they'd report it to a teacher.
しょうがないでしょ。あんまり時間なかったし、ちゃんとした手紙を送れるほど親しくなってないんだから、要件だけ書くしかなかったのよ。
Still, you didn't need to use a ruler. Also, I could feel the intensity in that last sentence.
それだって元を正せばエミヤくんのせいじゃない。朝逃げられたからそれぐらいしないと捕まえられないと思ったの。だから気を利かせてちょっとだけ気持ちを込めたっていうか。いいわよ。別に脅迫状でも犯行声明でも残飯状でも好きに言いなさい。こうして目的が果たせたなら何よりだわ。
Tosaka coolly turns her back on me, though I'm glad she's aware that she wrote that note a little scarily. Okay, so what did you want anyway? Don't tell me you called me all the way out here because you wanted another fight.
エミヤくんが望むならね。けど勘違いしないで。今はアーチャーが治療中だから仕掛けないだけで、もしアーチャーが健在だったら朝のうちにあなたからレイジを奪ってた。あれだけ迂闊な行動は取るなって言ったのに、ひょこひょこ歩いてるのを見た時は本気でその気になったんだからね。
My eyes widened. So, Tosaka's angry because... Tosaka, you were worried about me? I'm not sure why, but that's what this was all about?
そんなわけないでしょ。私が呼びつけたのは朝のことが気になったからよ。エミヤくん、あの時何か言いかけたでしょ。それが気になったからわざわざ聞いてあげる気になったの。
I'm even more shocked. What's gotten into her? I didn't expect Tosaka to seek me out just to let me ask her questions.
何よ黙り込んじゃって。別にいいわよ。私には話せないことなら無理に聞かないから。あなたの顔見たら怒りも失せたし、話がないなら帰る。
Wait, Tosaka! I have something to talk about. Actually, I've been wanting to ask you for advice.
なら話しなさいよ。秘密を守るし、力になれることなら手を貸してあげるわ。
Thanks. This doesn't have anything to do with you, but there's this girl named Sakura Mato. She's a first year I've known for a while, and I go back a long way with her big brother Shinji Mato too. So, to make a long story short, I fought Shinji last night. He was a master.
マトシンジがマスターだった？
Yeah, his grandpa Zoken told me, so I'm sure of that. He said that the Mato family has always been mages. Did you know that, Saka? Did you know that, Tosaka?
当然でしょう。私が知らなかったこの町の魔術師はあなただけよ。けどそれは絶対にないって思ってた。だってシンジは
Isn't a mage. He lacks even the bare minimum magic circuits to be a spellcaster. Zoken said that too. But that only means he can't be a mage. I think the conditions to be a master are different. I'm not that different from Shinji. We shouldn't assume that someone can't become a master just because they aren't a mage.
そうで、シンジは倒したの？あなた。
Yeah, Saber beat his servant, Ryder. His command spell book burned up, and he isn't a master anymore. I don't think he's given up yet. Sakura lives at his house, even though things are really dangerous right now. Zoken told me that only the chosen heir can inherit the family magecraft. Sakura was raised without knowing anything about that, so she doesn't know what Shinji's been up to. If that stays true, then Sakura should be able to live her life without ever getting involved in the master's battles.
そうね。
なのにどうしてさくらが危ないって思うのよ、あなたは。
I told you, Shinji is unstable. Sakura lives with him, so there's no guarantee she won't get mixed up in this. That's why...
さくらを巻き込んでしまう可能性が出る前に決着をつけたいっていうのね。それは正しいけど、あなたじゃ無理よ。竜道寺の件もあるし、他の連中はどうも気が臭い。今回の聖杯戦争は思ったより長引くわ。
Yeah. Shinji forfeiting as a master and exiting the war should be the best outcome, but it isn't realistic to hope for that. The next best option would be to separate Sakura from Shinji, but...
ならあとは一つだけでしょ。そのさくらって子を巻き込みたくないんなら、あなたが保護すればいいのよ。
I thought about that, but I'm a master too. She's in danger at my house, and Shinji won't like it. Sakura's sure to be upset at me if I suddenly tell her to move in, too.
はあ、ほんと鈍感なのね、エミヤ君は。
Huh?
なんでもないわ。とにかくダメ元で聞いてみなさい。シンジからさくらを守るのも、あなたが他のマスターからさくらを守るのも変わらないでしょ。なら自分で努力してどうにかなる方法を選ぶべきじゃないの？そのさくらって子があなたにとって大切な人間だって言うんならさ。
Tosaka's words strike a chord somehow. It's like getting punched in the head. You're right. Yeah, that makes sense. I should just ask Sakura herself instead of worrying about how she might feel. Thanks, Tosaka. I'll try to convince her as soon as I get home. So now you're giving me the silent treatment?
別に感謝されるほどのことじゃないから黙ってるだけよ。それよりこれで借り作っちゃったわね。シンジがマスターだったなんて情報がもらえるなんて思わなかった。これじゃあ代わりに私のカードも提示しないと。
Huh? Your cards?
代わりの情報よ。シンジがマスターだったって話は参考になったから、代わりに私からも新しい情報を教えてあげる。最近街で原因不明の昏睡事件って起きてるでしょ。あれはサーバントの仕業だけど、そいつのマスターは竜道寺にいるわ。
Eh? So that's why you mentioned it earlier? You mean that Ryudo temple in the mountains?
ええ、厄介な相手だから手を出すのなら気をつけなさい。あいつら命までは取ってないけど無差別に人を襲ってるわ。日に日に強くなっていくから早めに潰したいんだけど、私のアーチャーは誰かさんにやられた傷が治ってないしね。
Well, I mean, technically it wasn't me.
まあどんなに魔力を蓄えたところで一度に使える魔力の最大量なんてたかが知れてるし、しばらくは傍観するけど。
So there's a master in Ryudo temple. Tosaka must be doing everything she can to stay in the fight without Archer.
話はそれだけ。それじゃあさよならエミヤ君。早く帰って可愛い後輩を安心させてあげなさい。
Huh? Tosaka, hey! I try to stop her, but Tosaka ignores me and leaves in the direction of the archery range. I wonder why. Tosaka was in a foul mood from start to finish, where initial irritation seemed somehow different from grumpiness at the end. Oh, it's school closing hours. I better get home. The bell tolls 5 p.m. The sun will set soon. I have to speak to Sakura, so I should go home soon. I'm home. Wait, huh? Is Fujine already back? I take off my shoes and enter the hallway. It's not even 6 p.m. yet, so why is the Kyoto Club advisor back so early?
おかえりなさい、シロ。
帰ってきたか、兵六玉。
Saber greets me while seated in a polite seiza position, while Fujine is very improperly resting her face on the coffee table. There's a shadow of defeat in my adoptive guardian's eyes. I'm curious as to why, but experience tells me she's I'm curious as to why, but experience tells me it's probably no big deal. Sorry I'm late. Did anything weird happen while I was out, Saber?
はい、これといって異常はありませんでした。そういうシロの方はどうでした？学校に見るべきものはありましたか？
Nothing on my end either. Shinji didn't show up in school in school with business as usual. I think we could cross him off our list of people to watch for now. Using roundtable language, I report to Saber that there are no other masters at school.
なんか匂う。この甘酸っぱくて雨上がり給料日に隠したまま思い出せなくなった1万円のような気配は間違いなく秘密の匂い。
She sniffs the air like a dog off its leash.
シローから足かせの錆びた匂いがする。怪しい怪しいぞ。お姉ちゃんになんか隠してるのかにゃー。
Oh, wow. Don't believe it. How is she this hammered so early in the day? Saber, what happened to Fujine? The tiger doesn't get this drunk unless something really crazy happens.
いえ、私は何も。大河に元気がないのは空腹だからではないでしょうか。
Saber says something terribly cutting and with such ease.
嘘だ！タイガの腕前が知りたいなんて言って人をボロボロにしたのはセイバーちゃんじゃないのよ。
Fujine pounds the table. Whether out of frustration or fear, she scurries behind me and loudly boos Saber in protest. Also, she sure is acting all buddy-buddy with Saber real fast. Saber, did you spar with Fujine?
あ、いえ、大河の時間が空いているのなら体を動かそうと提案したのです。市内による模擬戦ならば大事は起きませんから大河も承諾したのです。
騙されちゃダメよシロ。セイバーちゃん確実にやる気だったわ。私わかるもん。鉄砲知ってるもん。あれはやる気。もう絶対やる気。うわー、隙を見せたらバターにされる。
Fujine trembles. Saber, did you fight Fujine like you really meant it?
まあつい気を緩めてしまったというか。
I mean, isn't that kind of how you're supposed to go into every fight? Whether you mean to kill someone or not?
シロの帰りが遅いことへの反感と大河の技量が思いのほか高かったことでとっさに反応してしまったというか。
Wow, that sounds terrifying. Fujine reached an impressive 5 dan in kendo at her age, but Saber's on a completely different level.
とにかく命が惜しかったら夜打ち朝掛けとか禁止禁止。
I'd be more concerned about her sneaking into my room.
セイバーちゃんを襲ったりしたら地獄開幕。死して屍拾うものなしなんだから。
She's right. I still have another problem to deal with. What do I do with Saber, who insists on sleeping in the same room as me? I'm a growing young man, and I have issues with a girl like Saber sleeping in the same room.
その心配は無用です、タイガ。シロの命令であれば私は従うのみです。私からシロに手を。
むむ？セイバーちゃん、なんか今すごい微妙なこと言わなかった？
とりわけ何も。それよりタイガ、今晩よりシロと同室で眠りますがどうか誤解なきようお願いします。
Okay, gotta screen cap that. Don't know if I'll use it. Fujine freezes in her tracks. Oh no. Given how we're positioned and the power balance between us, she's definitely gonna do it. Fujine, actually, I've been hiding something from you since yesterday. I hear Fujine from behind me.
よいしょっ
Well, she totally ignored me, and I just heard it sound like a phone book being slammed on a table. Listen to me! Saber doesn't understand Japanese.
せーの
There it is. The sensation of being put in a sleeper chokehold from behind. Fujine doesn't know how to hold back her own strength, so when she has me by the neck, I'm in serious danger. Wait, this is not the time for that! Hey, Fujine, you win! I give up! So, I'm really gonna fall! Crack, crack. Fujine's answer is to grapple me harder in a magnificent grinding of bone and flesh. God! I tap! Stop it! And don't throw me next! In my fading consciousness, I managed to tap Fujine's arm. However...
うるさい落ちちゃえこのドラ息子お姉ちゃんはシローをそんな風に育てた覚えなんかないんだから
I'm going down. Darn, just one problem after another. End of day 4. Jeez, that was awful. My neck makes cracking noises. Bent nearly at a right angle and managed to get off with only bruises thanks to my daily training.
面目ないこうひねってからは手を離して受け身可能にしようと思ったんだけどシローったら思ったより重くて投げるだけで精一杯でさ
Obviously, I'm not a little kid anymore, you know? Stop trying to suplex me with those skinny arms. You could have hurt yourself.
はい反省してます
You too, Saber. We're sleeping in adjacent rooms, not the same room.
ですが私はシローの身を守るためにですね
You call this protection, woman? You're protecting me plenty already. I wouldn't know what to do with myself if we stayed in the same bedroom. I'm sorry, but this is the best I can do. It's a hill I have to die on. And may in fact do so.
難しいものですね
As long as both of you understand. Alright, time to get ready for dinner. I stand up, stretching my neck. Oh right, Fujine. I'm thinking of having Sakura stay over starting today. Is that okay? I'll put her in the guest room that we gave Saber before.
さくらちゃんを止める別にいいけどいきなりどんな心境の変化よシロここんとこ妙に変よ
Better question, why the double standard? Well, Sakura doesn't look like she's feeling well lately. It's probably because Shinji's never home. She should have someone around to look after her.
ふーんまあいいけどその旨はさくらちゃんに伝えてあるの部活の時さくらちゃんいつも通りだったけど
But she's going to... I mean, what about you in the club? Why are you back so early?
ちょっと怪我人が出ちゃってねあとは三辻さんに任せて体調悪い子たちを家まで送って直帰したのよ
Okay, so the woman in the alley wasn't Mitsuzuri. Something like that happened, huh? It's a little concerning to hear that someone got injured at a club, but Fujine wouldn't be here if it was serious. Someone probably just jammed their finger or got anemic. Anyway, this is my chance. Sakura's like family to both me and Fujine. Then I should... Be a man and tell her yourself! No, this is important. It's my decision, so I shouldn't push it onto someone else. It's only right that I be the one to tell Sakura. Just as I make up my mind, the doorbell rings with
お
perfect
邪魔
timing.
します
It's Sakura's voice. I'll ask Sakura right away. It's faster this way.
先輩、お邪魔しますね。夕食の支度はこれからですか？
Yeah, just starting. I can handle it on my own, so make yourself at home. If you would, could you keep Fujine busy while you're at it? She's been a sore loser after Saber beat her at Kendo, so cheer her up with a card game or something.
はあ、先輩ひどいんだ。藤村先生、今日大変だったんですよ。
She did mention that. Then play shogi with her instead.
将棋ですね。はい、それなら藤村先生の独壇場です。私じゃ飛車抜きのハンデもらってもコテンパンだからちょうどいいと思います。
Sakura's in a good mood. The swelling on her face is gone, and there's no sign of the dark bruises from this morning. Okay, now would be a good time to bring it up. So, Sakura, I know this is sudden, but you should stay over starting tonight.
泊まれって先輩？
You shouldn't go back to the Mato house for the time being. As for how long, let's try to make it a week. Oh, and I already got Fujine's permission. Sakura's expression stiffens. She gazes back at me like she's scrutinizing my heart rather than my face. I know I'm asking a lot, but still, I really want you to stay over. No matter how badly you might think of me, please live here for now. Sakura doesn't answer. She just keeps watching me, and I notice she slightly bites her lip. Finally, she asks me in a very quiet voice. I can't give her a reason. On my life's honor, I can't tell her it's because Shinji is a master, but anything else would be a lie. Everyone has secrets. I'm a guy, so there's plenty of stuff I don't say to Sakura and Fujine. No matter how precious someone is to you, there are some things you can't tell them. That's all the more reason I can't lie to her. If Sakura is my precious family, then I'd rather not tell her anything that's untrue. The atmosphere between us chills. Silence falls over us. It seems to stretch on forever. Sakura awkwardly breaks eye contact. I desperately rack my stupid brain for a response. Do I have to tell you why? She doesn't answer, but her eyes seem to show concern for me rather than herself.
私が心配だからですか？
She states it outright. Yeah, I'm worried. So it would make me feel better and feel a lot better if you stayed over. Her long dark hair sways. Sakura nods at my inadequate answer. And answers not with words, but with a smile. This is just common sense, of course, but once dinner is over, all that's left is take a bath and go to bed. There's no problem at all. Really, it's totally normal. Nothing out of the ordinary about it. However...
藤村先生、少し相談があるんですが。
なになに？言ってみそう？
ですね、
そっか、着替えの問題があったわね。制服ならうちにあるかな。普段着は私のでいいならあげるよ。あ、それとも家に着替え取ってくる？
いえ、うちに帰ったら戻ってこれなくなりますから、できれば帰りたくないんです。兄さんに。
それは大丈夫。さっきお家に電話してさくらちゃんのおじいさんに許可取ったから。
先生の家なら安心だ。ご指導よろしくお願いします。
だって。
そうですか。なら本当に私ここに泊まっていいんですね。
そうだよ。で、着替えの話だけど、寝巻きは私のでいいよね。下着も私のでいいかな。
いえ、先生のだと目がきついと思うんですけど。
Ouch.
そっか、さくらちゃん胸おっきいもんね。
And she's cool with it.
その肉を分けろ。
先生、何するんですか？
Maybe a little too cool with it.
冗談冗談。けど困ったわね。さすがにさくらちゃんサイズの下着なんて持ってないし、さくらちゃんつけて寝る派？
一応。
だよね。おっきい人はそういう人多いよね。けど苦しくないの？と素朴な疑問を投げてみる。
苦しいですけど、そういう時はですね。
なるほどなるほど、若いっていいな。じゃあ明日の朝までにはうちの若いのに揃えさせておくから。そういうわけでさくらちゃんも遠慮なくお風呂入ってらっしゃい。
Yeah, I don't blame you. You didn't need to have that conversation in front of me, stupid Fujire. I'm a man. I'm trying not to think about it. But if you talk about it here, I'll be extra conscious, and I won't be able to look at Sakura the same way.
あれ、シロ顔赤いけどどうしたのかな。何、やっぱりさくらちゃんの話気になる？
I don't know what you're talking about. It was private, right? I didn't hear anything, and I don't care.
あれ、そうなんだ。じゃあ私からいいこと教えてあげる。さくらちゃんいいの85なんだってさ。すごいよね。去年から実に13センチも大きくなってるんだよ。
That's one more little bit of faithful adaptation detail for the movie than I expected.
シロもそのあたり気づいてたでしょ。最近さくらの体は柔らかそうだなとか、抱きしめたいなとか。
藤村先生、どうしてそういうことするんですか？キャー！
Sakura counterattacks, taking Fujine to the ground. She's blushing bright red and furiously trying to cover Fujine's mouth. Sakura, I understand why you'd want to silence Fujine, but don't silence her basic life functions too.
おー、びっくりした。さくらちゃん見かけによらず武闘派なのね。いきなり息を止めに来るなんて先生びっくりよ。
知りません。藤村先生は少し反省してください。
Sakura turns away from Fujine sulkily. Then, we end up making eye contact with each other. Oh, the bath towels are in the bathroom.
はい。それじゃあ失礼しますね、先輩。
Sakura hurriedly turns to leave the living room. Hey! And once again...
鼻ぶつけちゃいました。
I was about to warn her to watch her step. Before I could, however, she ran smack dab into a pillar. Sakura, are you okay? Was she panicking so bad that she ran into a pillar before she even made it to the hallway?
はい、大丈夫です。大丈夫なんでお風呂入ってきます。
Sakura disappears down the hall, her steps wavering. Phew! I can finally breathe now that Sakura's in the bath. If that tension had gone on much longer, I might have been the one to flee the living room. I might have been the one to flee the living room. What now? If you have something to say, say it, you delinquent teacher.
別に。たださくらちゃんも大変だなって。顔を真っ赤にしたシロ。 いつもより意地っ張りで可愛いし。そういうシロウの前だとさくらちゃんも余計恥ずかしかったんじゃないかな。
That wasn't Red. Sakura is like family to me, you know. She's my kohai who always looks and eats with us. Who always cooks and eats with us. I wouldn't embarrass myself in front of her like that.
じゃあシロウは失格したくないんだ。
Of course not. She's Shinji's sister. I gotta take good care of my friend's sister.
あ、そういうことか。シロウ、気がついてないだけかと思ったらそんなことまで気にしてたんだ。
Fujina heaves an exaggerated sigh. This is very unpleasant.
前途多難ね。さくらちゃんも大変だ。
Where are you going?
どこって脱衣所。さくらちゃんに着替え用意してあげないと。シロウは離れの部屋の準備でもしてなさい。シーツとかちゃんと新しいの出してあげるのよ。
Fujina just says whatever she wants and leaves me in the living room. Saber, I'm going to make up the guest room, so wait here. Saber nods wordlessly, and I leave the living room. I make the bed and check the guest room furnishings. It's a different room from the one we initially set Saber up in. It's a different room from the one we initially set Saber up in, one that hasn't been used in a long time. This one's better for Sakura, and it has a lock at the door. Sakura's a well-looked girl, so I figure she'll feel more comfortable if she can lock her door. Not like I let Fujina get to my head or anything. I lay the sheets on and pat them flat. This bed has never been used. As soon as I start thinking that Sakura is going to sleep on it tonight.
シロウもそのあたり気づいてたでしょ。
Awful thoughts fill my mind. That's stupid. After all this time, why would I... But that goes without saying. I've watched from right next to her as Sakura has grown more and more beautiful. I'm happy for her, and I've been telling myself not to be conscious of it. Sakura is Shinji's little sister, and she helps me out of a sense of guilt over the way her brother behaves. It's already been a year and a half. It's not like I see her that way. It all started with the accident that caused me to leave the Kyoto Club. I hurt my shoulder at work, and there was some talk about the burn scars being an issue, so I figured it was a good time as any to quit the club. After that, I think it was Sakura who volunteered to start helping me out at home until my injuries healed. She still looked younger back then and struck me as a hard worker. The first day, she waited in front of my house for me to come home, then stood there sullenly face to face for a while until she finally said she wanted to help me. I think she was out there for 2 hours. And now that Introvert's the rising star of the Kyoto Club, people sure can change. Sakura's demeanor has brightened a lot, actually. I first met her 4 years ago through Shinji, I think, when I went over to his house to play. She was silent and had a habit of letting her hair cover her face. She still has that part of her, but Sakura back then looked positively downtrodden. She always had a glum look on her face and would just stand around absently. When I compare Sakura now to back then, I truly do feel happy for her. I'm relieved that the depressed girl who was always staring at the ground is now someone who can laugh like she's genuinely enjoying life.
そう思うことはないの？さくらの体は柔らかそうだなとか、抱きしめたいなとか。
I don't really know myself. At the very least, I only saw Sakura as my kohai until recently. That image of her only started to crumble recently. When did it start exactly? Maybe it happened long before I realized. Or maybe we're so close that I never needed to notice. Dang it. Everything was going fine, so why does the thought of Sakura sleeping over make my heart pound like this? It's rude to Sakura. I should hurry up and finish cleaning the room. Then I can let Sakura stay here. Huh? Saber, where's Sakura?
さあ、こちらには来ていませんから、まだ入浴しているのではないですか？
But it's already been an hour. Maybe Sakura takes long baths. She has to wash a lot of parts that I don't, so a quick shower might not be. Stop! Don't imagine it! I shake my head and sit down at the table. Then I brew some tea and let the fragrant liquid soothe my throat. Phew. I purge myself of my fantasies and breathe deep. Then...
シロ、さくらは目が悪いのですか？
What an odd question. No, not really. Sakura has good vision. I think she's 1.1 and a half across both eyes.
そうですか。頻繁に壁や柱に体をぶつけていますから、視力に問題があるのではと危惧してしまいました。
Oh, that. Well, I appreciate the concern, but Sakura's healthy. She's just a little clumsy lately because she's tired, but she's normally got her head on. She's normally got her head on straighter than I do.
それならばいいのですが、仮にそうだとしても、入り口と壁を見間違えるほど疲労が溜まっているのは問題です。試験ですが、先ほどの衝突は疲れからではなく、純粋に目測を誤ったものと感じましたが。
Saber's opinion makes sense. No matter how tired you are, you don't just start randomly walking into walls. Speaking of Sakura, where is she? If she's really in the bath, 1 hour is a pretty long time. Right now... I'll let Fujine handle it. Right. If I burst into the room while Sakura is changing, I won't hear the end of it from Fujine for an entire year. No, the point is that it would be wrong to do that to Sakura. Yep, now is the time for patience. For all I know, she could already be done and drying her hair off.
落ち着きませんね、シロ。
Huh? No, I don't. I'm eating mandarins and drinking tea.
はあ、果物にもお茶にも手をつけず、しきりに時計を盗み見ることがシロの休憩だというのですね。
Well, I'm full, so I don't have much of an appetite.
そうですか。シロがそう言うのなら私は構いませんが、あまり自分を縛るのもどうかと思います。
Saber takes a graceful sip of tea. Jeez, I'm pathetic. It hasn't even been 5 minutes, but I can't stop thinking about Sakura. Darn it, I don't care what Fujine says. Saber, I'm going to the bathroom. I grit my teeth and stand up. Just as I do, Fujine comes hurtling out of the hallway. Fujine, what's the rush? Weren't you getting Sakura's clothes ready?
それはさっき終わったわ。それよりシロ、さくらちゃんの看病お願い。私家に戻って熱冷まし持ってくるから。
What do you mean? What happened?
そんなのこっちが聞きたいぐらいよ。脱衣所に入ったらさくらちゃんが倒れてて、熱を測ったら38度近くあったんだから。
But Sakura collapsed?
今客間に寝かせてきたわ。見たところただの風邪みたいだから、とりあえず安心しなさい。けど無理は禁物よ。私は家に戻っていろいろ持ってくるから、シロはさくらちゃんについててあげること。それだけでさくらちゃんも元気が出るからね。
Fujine snaps off a series of orders, then heads home to the Fujiwara estate. Fujine's house hosts a lot of young, hot-blooded people, so it's well equipped to handle the sick and wounded. Ugh. I can't freeze now. I don't know what happened, but I need to check on Sakura first. Your fever's a tad over 37. Huh. It's lower than I expected. I shake the thermometer and look at Sakura, who's lying in bed. It's been 30 minutes. Like Fujine said, Sakura's condition isn't too serious. It seems like she passed out on the dressing room because she had a light cold, took a long bath, and got lightheaded when she stood up.
すみません。なんか緊張してお風呂に入ったらのぼせたみたいです。
Sakura guiltily hides her face under the covers. Well, there's no helping the fact that you're sick. A cold like this should heal with medicine and some rest, so try and take it easy for tonight. I'll leave the water on this chair. Try not to go outside, all right? You'll get a chill. Just in case, I put another blanket over her and turn off the lights. See you tomorrow. I'll come wake you up, so take it easy. I give Sakura an affectionate pat on the head and make for the door.
はい。おやすみなさい、先輩。
Sakura sounds apologetic. I reciprocate her good night and leave the guest room. The lights go out in the house. It's past 11 p.m. and the town is fast asleep.
では竜道寺にマスターがいると。
According to Tosaka, at least, she said not to mess with them because they're in trouble, but they're apparently behind the comas happening all over town. I don't know if it's true, but I think it's worth checking out.
そうですね。確かに竜道寺に至る霊脈に作為的なものを感じます。あの山にマスターがいることに間違いはないでしょう。
What's wrong, Saber? Somehow you don't seem very enthusiastic compared to yesterday.
はい。あの山はサーバントにとって鬼門です。軽はずみな進行は避けたい。
Unlike the first route, where making a hasty assault is exactly what you did. But should we hold off on patrolling tonight and gather a little more intel on Ryudo Temple? Because you're right. It would be reckless to go in there without knowing anything about the servant or master.
いいえ、その必要はありません。竜道寺に今日構えるようなマスターならば、おいそれと正体を明かさないでしょう。早々に決着をつけるのならば、正面から力で打ち破るのみです。
If Saber says so, then we probably have a chance at victory. I'd also like to stop the master from putting any more townspeople into comas as soon as possible. Alright, let's go to Ryudo Temple. But Saber, we're only going there to scout it out. Once we learn who the master is and which servant they have, we'll fall back. I know it's late, but I can't back you up out there. I'd rather err on the side of caution. I can't let Saber get hurt, like that time with Berserker. But since I can't help her in a fight, I have to protect her a different way.
わかりました。最終的な判断はシローに委ねます。戦闘か退却かはあなたが決めてください。
I'm happy to hear that, but it's scary. Even if the enemy turns out to be someone we could beat, I'm liable to turn tail and run.
なるほど。そういった場合も考えられますね。シローは戦闘経験が少ないですから。
Yeah, no denying that. I'd like to avoid stepping into a figurative minefield, so I'd appreciate it if you gave me fair warning.
はい。では、シローが判断を誤ったときは、私から忠告を。もちろん、それではシローのためになりませんから、シローの判断が間違えていた場合、何らかのペナルティを負ってもらうことにしましょうか。
What kind of penalty specifically?
さあ、それを口にしてはつまらない。数少ない楽しみですから、私だけの秘密としましょう。
Oh boy. Saber seems to be making a joke. Maybe it's Fujine's influence. I sure hope it's a joke anyway.
しかしシロー、私たちはともかく、さくらは大丈夫なのですか？あの苦しみようは尋常ではありませんでしたが。
Yeah, I thought so too. I took her temperature, but her fever wasn't actually that high. I'll just let her get a good night's rest for now and see how she holds up.
そうですか。では、 迷いなく戦いに赴けますね。
I nod and look out towards the guest house. Sakura's room is on the second floor of the building. We need to leave and return to the house without her noticing. Let's go, Saber. From here on out, I'm a master. I won't think about anything else. I leave the house with Saber. The moon is high in the sky, and the darkness feels dense enough. Up above, the clouds move quickly, perhaps due to the wind. Under the pale moonlight, peeking and disappearing beneath the clouds, we beat a swift pace to enemy territory. Interlude 5-1 Heaven's Feel. A high-pitched noise fills the air. A white blade clatters to the ground, scattering motes of light all around as it reflects the brilliant moonlight. Sticky blood coats his lips. A man falls to his knees on the stone steps, bidding farewell to his long sword as it sinks into the darkness. He will never pick up that sword again. His coat is stained in blood, his newly dyed threads making it resemble a gallant crimson flower.
なんとよもやダカツマカツの類とは
A literal hand. A literal fiend's hand. The man's lips seem like white bone in contrast to the fresh blood spilling from his belly. The vital tremble of life has already left his throat. Sasaki Kojiro's innards are already functioning as something else. The mountain gate is quiet. Neither the servant guarding it nor the newly appeared shadow make a move. The battle is already over. Whatever just swiftly ascended the stone steps defeated Assassin. There was no time to cross blades or even acknowledge the enemy. Whatever it was in a different dimension altogether. The gatekeeper's body tears. His torso ripped apart. Without a weapon, Assassin cannot even end his own life. It walks, steadily, surely. The shadow lovingly, or perhaps disdainfully, strokes the cheek of the servant called Assassin. A spidery, ghoulish arm erupts from his shredded torso. Alien reference! Bones entangle, meat tears. He feels the organs and entrails that once belonged to him morph into something else. Something else. Something strange. Perhaps a xenomorph. He fights the surge of blood that threatens to burst forth. The swordsman swallows it down, a genial grin playing across his lips.
よかろう好きにするがいい所詮は我が腹より吐いてるものろくな性根ではなかろうよ
In from within and deprived of a merciful death, he smiles. Screen cap that. It is a valiant gesture. His lurid grin is even more fearsome than the birth of the abomination within him. And so, it is summoned. The thing born from the blood and entrails of a false servant is unmistakably an assassin. Its birthing cries resemble the chitter of insects. The insect that emerges from the swordsman's body greedily devours its womb. It cackles as it carves, chortles as it chews. With each bite of flesh, the dark insect becomes increasingly man-shaped, its unformed brain gaining human knowledge. The feast continues for half an hour. The new assassin studiously slurps up every last drop of blood, celebrating its birth on now spotless stone steps. Its only witness are the corally chittering swarms of insects in the bush and bright, voluminous moon. The shrill birthing cries fade. It is an ill moon. The white skull sneers at the scorched black night. Interlude out. I walk up the stone steps. Saber is already armed. Both of us are tense, expecting an enemy to attack at any moment. The stairway up to the mountain gate is long, and the breeze is pleasantly warm despite us being in the hills. According to Saber, this mountain has a barrier that repels servants. If they attempt to approach Ryoto Temple by any other path beside the gate, the barrier hurts them and reduces their magical energy. Therefore, the only way into Ryoto Temple is up these stairs. I was sure they'd try to ambush us. You don't sense any servants, Saber?
ありません。この石段には私以外のサーバントは。
Suddenly, Saber halts and looks down. Saber? What happened?
いいえ、私の気のせいでしょう。刀らしきものが見えた気がしましたが、そのようなものはどこにもない。この山門に守り手はいません。境内に向かいましょう。
Saber ascends the stone steps quickly. After a moment's confusion, I run after her. Inside, it's silent. The wind is strong. The shadows deep. It's terribly dark, even though the moon is out. I look up. The moon's out, all right. It glows brightly, illuminating the unlit temple grounds. Despite that, the area is engulfed in shadow. Saber.
ええ、様子がおかしい。ここまで踏み込んで反応がないなどありえません。それに、これは静かすぎる。
Let's look around inside. A family of almost 50 runs Ryoto Temple. There's no way it would be this quiet. I enter the temple with Saber. There's nobody around. After making sure the grounds are unoccupied, Saber and I head deeper into the building. Hang on a minute. Okay, I'm back. Everybody inside is asleep. They show no signs of waking. They don't react even when I touch them or pick them up. Every single one of the 50 or so monks is in a coma. All of them lie in a pleasant, dreamlike sleep, breathing steadily. Of course, one of my classmates is among them. Issei Ryoto is asleep. I've only seen him so relaxed on a handful of occasions in the privacy of the student council office. We move quickly through the wood-floored hallways. Saber senses something. She directs us toward the inner main shrine. The master behind this disaster must be lurking in the heart of the temple. We step into the main shrine. Suddenly, my eyes are greeted by scarlet blood all over the floor. The center of the shrine is drenched in red. There's a man on the floor. There's a pool of red spreading out in front of him. Maybe he was stabbed through the chest. The wound is fatal. He's lost too much blood to survive. He's already dead. He looks familiar, and he must be the master of the thing standing beside him. The servant standing there, staring down at her master's lifeless corpse. Assailed by a headache and an alarming unease. It isn't the gruesome scene that terrifies me, but that thing. That dagger is something bad. Saber doesn't seem to sense it, but somehow I can tell the power in that dagger is nothing good. So that explains something that happens towards the end.
Caster!
Saber stands ready to fight. Castor, the purple-robed servant, doesn't react. Is it because we caught her by surprise? Or because she was caught red-handed? Saber slightly crouches, ready to attack Castor in a breath. No, Saber, wait!
シロ、なぜ止めるのです。今置いてキャスターを撃つ機会は。
Not that. I mean, don't touch that dagger. It destroys magecraft. It might sever the contract between master and servant.
では、キャスターは自らのマスターを。
We don't know for sure if she killed her master, but it's clear to me that the dagger in her hand is has an incomparable ability to dispel magical effects.
キャスター、貴様、主に手をかけたな。
Well, it wouldn't be the first time. Saber advances angrily. Castor turns to look at us. Her lifeless demeanor makes her look more wraith than heroic spirit. A sword flashes through the air. Saber's sword splits Castor's robe, shredding her clothes as she evades by bounding backwards.
セイバー、そう、とどめを刺しに来たというわけね。誰の筋書きだか知らないけど、周到なこと。
黙れ。主を裏切った者の言葉など聞きたくもない。自らの行いを恥じ。
私がマスターを殺した。宗一郎様を私が。
Not the...
それは愉快ね。ええ、こんなことになるのなら本当にそうしてしまえばよかった。
She coughs blood as she laughs. The black-clad mage conceals the strange dagger under her robe and thrusts a hand at Saber.
目障りをセイバー。主もろとも消え去りなさい。
There's nothing else to say. Watching Castor keenly, Saber swings her sword without hesitation. Castor fades away. Their clash couldn't even be called a fight. Castor may have outstanding magecraft, but it was completely ineffective against Saber's high magic resistance. Saber shrugged off Castor's barrage of spells and cut her down in a single blow.
キャスターは倒しました。マスター、指示を。
Right. Well, there's nothing else to do here. I could call the hospital, or actually I should let Kotomine take care of the rest. He should be able to help all the unconscious people. But there's no saving the dead man in front of us. Castor disappeared, leaving our master's body behind. His death will be buried in darkness. Tonight he took his last breath, and one day he will disappear from people's memories, his final fate unknown.
シロ。
I know. There are 4 more masters. I can't afford to freeze up here. You can't even see the body and see that it's one of your teachers?
賢明です。気持ちはわかりますが、干渉は押しとどめてください。
Saber turns her back on the shrine. I'll at least burn the sight of the fallen corpses into my memory before I follow her. Huh? Wait. What was that?
シロ、どうしたのです。足を止めて。
Huh? For a second it felt like we were being watched. Didn't you feel it, Saber?
いいえ、何も感じませんでした。この周囲に人がいないことは確認したはずです。シロの気のせいではないですか？
Maybe. I bet you're right, Saber. Yeah, it was probably nothing.
では急ぎましょう。キャスターが倒れた今、昏睡していた人々も目を覚まします。私たちの姿を見られては面倒だ。
She's right. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth, but this should put an end to the comas happening all over the city. I can chalk that up as a win, at least. All right, let's leave the mountain and let Kotomine know. Then we'll go home and rest. Saber nods in satisfaction and leaves the shrine. I ignore the nagging tingling from behind me and follow Saber. All that remains in the shrine are the quiet and the quiet and the body of the former master. Interlude 5-2. Heaven's Feel. The lead actor exits the stage, leaving only a wordless corpse. It consumes it. It leaves no body. The wooden floor becomes a bottomless swamp, its crimson mass spreading out to consume the man's unmoving body. It takes not only the man, but the thing he can use to command. The soul modeled after the servant caster falls to the black shadow. That is not how things should be. When a servant loses and disappears, it goes back to the Holy Grail. Something which violates this rule is subject to inevitable decay, no matter how powerful it is. It cries without a sound. In anguish, it bubbles and churns until it finally devours the first person. It shuffles forward like waves lapping on the shore. It has no voice to scream, so it expresses pain with its entire body. It has no words, no emotions. From the beginning, it was never equipped with such functions. And yet, it grieves. It laments its very being, like something that has become aware of its own existence for the first time. Interlude out. The clock strikes 2 a.m. A round trip to and from Ryoto Temple took its toll on me, in spite of my daily training. Oh, right. Saber, head back to your bedroom ahead of me.
どこに行くのです、シロ？今夜はもう休むのではないのですか？
I got a thing to do. I'll be right back, so don't worry. I'm tired too, so I wanted to turn in early tonight.
なるほど。さくらの容体が気になるのですね。
I mean, I should get her more water. Make sure you sleep in the room next to mine, alright? And close the door.
ああ、そうでしたね。同室でないのは不都合ですが、シロが強情を張るのではやむを得ません。言われた通り、隣の部屋で待機しましょう。
Saber looks displeased. I'm not the only one who's being stubborn. I return to my bedroom, tortured by self-loathing. 3 a.m. What have I been doing for the past hour? I sigh. There's only one reason I took so long. Sakura wasn't sleeping very well, so I spent time getting her more water and putting her covers back on. It was an incredibly taxing job in more ways than one. I should have blindfolded myself. That would have made it easier. Actually, I had my eyes closed almost the entire time, so it wouldn't have made much difference. Not once did I give in to temptation to open them until my work was done. Time for bed. Just go to sleep. That's all I need to do. I cover my head with the sheets and drive out the invasive thoughts. Once I close my eyes, my mind goes blank. See? Being this physically tired will help me fall asleep faster. Trippy. It's red. At sunset, the cityscape seems dyed red. It reminds me of a bench covered in posters. Everything my feet and hands touch makes a warm, squelching sound. I continue down the asphalt road. When I look up, the building buildings are dyed crimson. The steep walls seem like giant nails hammered from the sky to the earth. You can't run, the red sun declares, gazing down from the heavens. I walk alone through the streets. Shinto is dead quiet. Maybe everyone's hiding in wait, or perhaps there was never anyone here to begin with. Still, it hurts. The scarlet glow torments my eyeballs and makes me dizzy. It's too empty out here. Am I the only one who missed some mass evacuation order? That would explain all the red. I should go home. It's waiting for me. Is that Tosaka? Even from afar, I can tell it's her. Hey, Tosaka! She ignores me. She walks, her swaying hair long enough to touch the ground. If she's wearing her uniform, then she must be on the way to school. I run after her. Tosaka doesn't notice me. The gap between us doesn't shrink at all. She keeps walking while I keep running. I gradually fall even further behind. By the way, Tosaka isn't walking at a particular brisk pace. I'm running enough to breathe a little heavy, but she's still faster. The long-haired girl enters the school, like a fluttering butterfly. By the way, there's no one on campus. It's empty, unoccupied. The red-lit landscape is like a well-made candy diorama. If the twilight glow grows any stronger, it'll melt them beyond recognition. By the way, I hear a girl laughing. Two young girls smile and play with each other. I see a vision of two beautiful sisters, so perfect for each other they might as well be twins. I open the door and enter the classroom. By the way, why was I following her for no reason? It doesn't surprise me, nor do I feel any guilt. The two of them embrace each other like lovers. It's enough to make me doubt that they're both girls. Against the crimson backdrop, what they're doing seems only proper. But if there's one thing that I'm curious about, it's that Mitsuzuri's arms hanging limp at her side, like those of a corpse. I was wrong. That isn't a hug. It's a meal. The praying mantis feeds on the butterfly. It giddily drains its prey of life. Mitsuzuri is like a wax model. With each second, her vitality is draining away. Tosaka's eyes are warm and whimsical. Her face approaches Mitsuzuri's neck. She exposes Mitsuzuri's defenseless pale throat. Then Tosaka's lips. No, her teeth. The wax model's chest arches in tension. I try to go over and help her, but I may as well be wading through a swamp. I'll never make it in time. I simply watch as Tosaka purrs while she drinks, as Mitsuzuri goes weak at the knees. She licks her fingers. Her wet tongue seductively smothers around her fingers. It's too alluring. I feel like I'm drowning in the thick air around her. Tosaka giggles, licking her fingers. The wet sound tickles my ears.
よかった。来てくれたのね、レミア君。
Her voice sounds so sticky and expectant. I'm so dizzy, it's like I'm inside a kaleidoscope. My mind is paralyzed, to say nothing of my limbs. Though I should mention, I've long since lost control over my body.
どうしたの？私のことが怖い？レミア君。
I can't even move my head to respond. Her smile is irresistibly bewitching. It's so terrifying. I feel like I'll be caught and killed. I'm a winged insect caught in a spider's web. I can neither fight nor flee.
美味しかったわ。 綾子は。
So she was eating after all. But still, why Mitsuzuri?
だってあなたを待つ間我慢できなかったんだもの。
Delight seeps into her giggles. Tosaka's hands reach out. For some reason, I imagine her slender, supple arms coiling around my body like a snake. Her sweet scent envelops me and dominates my lungs.
次はあなたの番よ。
Tosaka's limbs wrap around me. Her soft, feminine body drowns out the blaring alarm in my head. I feel like I'm crumbling in her embrace. She brings her face close enough for our lips to touch. Her wet eyes invite me in. Her breath is so thick I'm going to suffocate in it.
今度はエミヤくんを食べてあげる。
Tosaka's lips touch me, nipping the side of my neck. They're warm and damp. My mind melts like candy under their tender touch. Sharp fangs pierce my skin. Tosaka's biting me. Her teeth sink into my neck, just like with Mitsuzuri. There's no pain. I've heard that spiders anesthetize their prey before killing them. With the numbness also comes ecstasy. Her sucking lips and teeth feel so good, like I'm melting. My neck softly melts. Each time Tosaka drains a mouthful of me, I feel my body turn to candy. My insides are being sucked out and replaced with honey that makes my body melt. It seeps into my bones, muscles, and skin. It floods my throat and I can't even moan. It flows down my neck, the unbelievable sensation beguiling me. Tosaka's shoulders tremble in ecstasy as she drinks from my neck. She looks so pleased by the meal of red blood. My consciousness is coated in a messy, overlapping carpet of vertigo. Before I know it, I've stopped breathing and my body is being drained before it can even reach my brain. In return, Tosaka's sweet, strong liquid invades my body.
おいしい。
While she nibbles at me, I hear a voice that doesn't belong. The voice numbs my melting brain.
暑いわね、エミヤくん。
She whispers, drinking me dry. A pump empties me out from the inside. In return, pleasure saturates my body, melting and turning it limp.
新鮮な血。息がよくってピチピチして。
I'm at my limit. I have nothing else to give. My arteries are bone dry. I don't think I have even a drop of blood left to spare.
もっとまだ足りない。
She continues drinking. There shouldn't be anything left to drink, but I still hear Tosaka gulp. It's as if my life itself is being converted into blood. That makes sense. Then this meal isn't quite over yet. She keeps drinking and drinking. In the crimson-lit classroom, she drains me without end. My body melts beyond recognition, fading to oblivion as she sucks it all up.
素敵よ、エミヤくん。あなたならこのまま全部もらってあげる。
A woman's voice reverberates in my mind. I wither away, desiccated while she whispers. Save the game. Yes! Oh, that got weird. Alright. So we'll call it there for tonight. Or for today. It's not quite night yet. Alright. Well, I hope everyone's enjoying this. And I'll see you next time. Have a good day. Bye.